So do you also use Razorpay and GoToTraining for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to create GoToTraining Registrant on Razorpay payment. So over here I'm running a edutech company and we regularly conduct training sessions for the same, and we use Razorpay to collect the registrations of these training sessions. So now what I want is that as soon as a new payment is captured in my Razorpay account, which is as soon as someone registers for my training session with the help of Razorpay, automatically with the help of the same details, a new registrant should be created in my GoToTraining account with the same details. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Razorpay and GoToTraining. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also want to create this automation for your business? Then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video, I'll guide you through the process of automatically registering participants for a GoToTraining session whenever a successful payment is made via Razorpay. This integration eliminates the need of manual registrations, ensuring seamless onboarding for your trainees or customers. By setting up this automation, every Razorpay payment will trigger a new registrant entry in GoToTraining, enhancing the efficiency and streamlining the enrollment process. So stay tuned as I walk you through the complete setup. And to get started, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the other one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of hours free every month to explore the application. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm just going to click on this sign in. And as soon as we are going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So over here, I'm just going to click on this access now to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as soon as we are going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here, I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to create GoToTraining registrant on Razorpay payment, Razorpay to GoToTraining, and then we simply have to click on this create. And as soon as we are going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. So trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow will run. Alright, trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started with our automation, we have to select our trigger application. So I'm just going to select my trigger application as Razorpay. So I'm just going to search for Razorpay right over here, and as you can see the same, so we simply have to select it. And as soon as we're going to select the trigger application, it is going to ask me to select the trigger event. And as soon as we are going to select the trigger application, it is asking me for the trigger event. So for the trigger event, I'm just going to select it as payment captured. And now after selecting the trigger event, it has given me a webhook URL. So we are going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Razorpay account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So what we have to do is first we are just going to copy this webhook URL, and then we have to follow this help text. So it is saying log in to your Razorpay account and navigate to the webhook section available under the settings section. Alright, so we are going to follow the same. I'm just going to open my Razorpay account, and now from the left side of the bar we have to go towards this developers section, and now from here we have to go towards this webhook section. And now after coming over here towards the webbook section, we have to click on this blue button which says add new webbook. And now it is asking me for the webbook URL. So we are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow right over here. And after pasting this webbook URL, it is asking me for the secret. So if you wish, you can definitely add a secret right over here, but I don't wish to add so. And now it is asking me for the alert email. So if you wish, you can definitely add an email right over here, but I don't wish to do so. So I'm just going to leave it as blank. It is saying active events. So as you can see that in the help text, it has clearly mentioned that now select payment captured from the active events section. So we are going to follow the same. I'm just going to select my active events as payment captured and click on this create webbook button. And yes, you can see that webbook saved successfully. So with this, we have successfully added our webbook URL into our Razorpay account. And with this, we have successfully created a connection between our Razorpay account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webbook response. And in the notes, it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webbook response, we have to do a test submission or record. Alright. So what we have to do is, I'm just going to open my Razorpay account and select the payment page for which I want to create this automation. So as you can see that this is the payment page I want to create this automation for, which is Python for Beginners Python training. So I'm just going to select all of my details right over here and purchase this Python training right from here, which is I'm just going to register for it right from here. So let's say for the first name, I'm just going to keep it as demo, last name as user, you can see the email address, the mobile number. We are going to move on forward. For the webinar, I'm just going to select Python for Beginners. For the price and quantity, I'm just going to select it and click on this pay rupees 500. Alright, as soon as we're going to click on this pay rupees 500, it is asking me to select the payment option. So I'm just going to select it as UPI, enter my UPI ID and click on this verify and pay. Alright, so it is saying open your Razorpay app and complete the payment. So I'm just going to do so. And now we're going to wait for a few seconds till our payment is getting confirmed. And yes, you can see payment successful. So with this, we have successfully completed this payment and we have registered for this Python training as demo user. And also what has happened is that Razorpay has sent the details of a test submission to our workflow. So I'm just going to open my workflow and yes, over here you can see that Pabbly Connect has captured the response. You can see all the details exactly the same which we entered. You can see the first name which we entered. You can see the last name which we entered. You can see the mobile number which we entered. You can see the same email address which we entered. Also, you can see the webinar name which we entered. Also, you can see the order ID. You can see the payment method which was UPI and the UPI ID too right over here. So as you can see, all the details have been successfully captured right over here in my response. And with this, we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now what will happen that as soon as a new payment is captured in my Razorpay account, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered and Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same. Alright, so further what I want is, I want to create GoToTraining Registrant on Razorpay payment. But before selecting my action application as GoToTraining, I'm just going to add a filter condition right over here in my workflow. So what I want is, I only want to create this automation for a particular training program, which is Python training. Alright, so I'm just going to add a filter condition for the same right over here in my workflow. So I'm just going to select my action application as filter. So filter is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to add conditions in your workflow. And now for the action event, we have to select it as filter values and click on this connect. And now it is asking me for the label. So it is asking me on which basis we are going to add this filter. So over here, I am conducting multiple trainings with different amounts of registration. So over here for the Python for Beginners training, the registration amount is 500. So I want to add the filter condition on the amount only. Alright, so I'm just going to open my workflow and now for the label, I'm just going to select it as amount right over here. And over here, you can see the amount which is 50,000. But you must be wondering that the amount was only 500.00. How come the point got removed right over here? Because you can notice that over here, the amount was 500.00, which is the decimal and then the 00. But over here, it is showing 50,000. So what happens is that while capturing the response, it eliminates the decimal value. That's why it is showing the amount as 50,000. So we're just going to select the same amount. And now for the filter type, we're going to keep it as equals to. And now for the value, we're going to enter the same value, which is 50,000, or you can say 500.00. But over here, the decimal gets eliminated. All right, so I'm just going to enter the same value as we have received the amount in. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And yes, you can see status success, condition is true. So yes, the condition is true. So the workflow is going to run on further. If the condition is false, then the workflow is not going to run on further. What will happen is, let's say that someone is purchasing my another training, which is amount 600, 700, 800, then this workflow will not move on further. It will only move on further in the case of amount as 500. All right. So now after adding this filter condition, we are going to move on forward towards our main action step, which is creating a GoToTraining registrant. So over here for my action application, I'm just going to select it as GoToTraining. So I'm just going to search for GoToTraining and then we simply have to select it. And now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as create registrant and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected a GoToTraining account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then we have to click on this blue button which says connect with GoToTraining. And as soon as we are going to click on this blue button, yes, you can see authorization successful. With this, we have successfully connected our GoToTraining account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is saying select the training for the registrant. So as you can see that this is the training in which I want to create a registrant, which is Python training. So I'm just going to select the same. And now it is asking me to enter the email address, the first name and the last name of the registrant. So yes, I'm just going to enter the same details which we have received in the response of our previous step. You can see over here we have received the details and also you can see the email which we have received. So I'm just going to enter this same email right over here in my GoToTraining action step. But we are not going to enter the email manually or by copy pasting it like this, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step were these steps where we selected Razorpay and filter as a trigger and action application. So we are just going to map the details from the response of our previous applications only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm just going to map the email. For that, I'm just going to look for email and map it. Same we are going to do with the first name and last name too. And we are going to turn these fields as dynamic. I'm just going to map the first name. We are going to look for last name and map the last name, which is user. And after mapping all of these three details, we simply have to click on this save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on the save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have successfully received a positive response, that we have successfully created a new registrant in our GoToTraining account with the same details. So I'm just going to open my GoToTraining account and we're going to check for the new registrant created. So I'm just going to go towards my trainings right from here, and as you can see the registrants are two. So I'm just going to open this right from here, and yes, you can see a new registrant has been created. You can see the same name and the same email address which we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. But now I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So I'm just going to open my Razorpay payment page and we're going to purchase, or we can register for this training as test user this time, and we're going to check our workflow in real time. All right, so let's say for the first name I'm just going to keep it as test, last name as user. You can see the email and the mobile number. I'm just going to select all the details and click on this pay 500. Alright, I'm just going to select my payment method as UPI, enter my UPI ID and click on this verify and pay. And now we're going to wait for a few seconds till our payment is getting confirmed. And yes, you can see payment successful. So yes, with this we have successfully registered for Python for Beginners training as test user. But now I'm just going to open my GoToTraining account and check that if a new registrant has been created there or not. So I'm just going to open my GoToTraining account and we're going to refresh this registrants page. And yes, over here you can see that within few seconds in real time, a new registrant has been added in my GoToTraining account too. With these same details, you can see exactly the same name and the same email address which we entered in our test submission. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now as soon as a new payment is captured in my Razorpay account, automatically with the help of these same details, a new registrant would be created in my GoToTraining account too. That too without any manual efforts. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. This workflow is going to run in backend and create a new registrant in my GoToTraining account in real time. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.